Hi, this is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot, and I'm out taking my dog Dash for a walk. We're out in a park in a suburb of Dallas, Texas. It's late February, the sun is shining, it's in the 60s, it'll probably be 80 today in February. It's glorious. But I wanted to talk to you about kind of how I got interested in tarot cards and give you a little bit of backstory for me, because I'm actually going through quite a lot. I've been going through this massive release over the past couple of years. You know, you kind of have to have that breakdown in order to have that breakthrough moment, and that's what they all talk about, like, as their hero's journey. And oh my gosh, have I been on the hero's journey. It's actually been pretty wild, but also really critical, because while I've been going through this process, it's actually unintentionally, I didn't know this would happen, kind of broke open my intuition, just sort of cracked it like an egg, and helped me to kind of tap into my intuitive abilities. And I started leveraging that using tarot cards. First time I ever picked up tarot cards was a couple of years ago. I actually had them in my house when I was living in Montana, and I used to use them to kind of check in on a relationship, and it made me so mad because the devil card showed up at the very end of the outcome, and I was so mad because I really wanted this relationship to work, and I'm like, these cards are crap, and I threw them away. Well, I ended up picking up the cards again about a year later. I was trying to sell my house, and I didn't want to sell my house, I had to. And that's for a story for another time, but that's part of the breakdown moment, right? Like, ended a relationship, ended my job, and in corporate America, I'd been in the wireless industry for 25, almost 30 years now, and was working for a venture capital firm, and it just really wasn't a good fit energetically. And I used to just actually pray to God that this job would particularly end, and was super grateful when it did. Had a severance, but the severance, you know, only lasts for so long, and interest rates were rising, and people weren't really buying new houses, and it was kind of turning into a bit of a mess for me. Like, breakdown, no joke. It was having to move and shift me into ways that I wasn't quite honestly ready to do yet. Sorry, my dog is making me go around in circles. And sometimes it's those moments of breakdown that we don't like to talk about, because it's not a very good looking good. It's not a good look for people, right? But it was really important to acknowledge that not everybody has stories that are happy and rosy and awesome, right? I call those the Facebook families. We all have those in our lives, right? Where people, they always look good, they're always in matching outfits, but you know, behind the scenes, they hate each other, their kids are a mess, and marriage is breaking up, and you know, it's just important to be real. So I'm just trying to be honest and real with you. You know, the past 3 years have been hard for me. Kind of had it all, right? Like the house, the relationship, the money, the kid, all that kind of stuff. And it just little by little started to go away, because it really wasn't for my best and highest good anymore. The job really wasn't a good alignment for me, and the relationship absolutely wasn't. He completely didn't see my value, and anytime I did like a YouTube video or something like that, like, he wouldn't even pay attention to it. So I knew he wasn't on the same path as me. So I just, for my own sanity, needed to move forward. And sometimes when we don't answer that call, God sort of nudges us forward anyways with a gigantic bulldozer to our lives, and just kind of sets us free from something we weren't willing to release on our own. So anyways, house goes away, and trying to sell it, and I brought the tarot cards back out again and started doing tarot readings on people that were viewing the property. So I could tell who was interested, who could afford it, who couldn't. I mean, I was also spying on them through the Ring doorbell cam. Let's be real, everybody does that. But the cards were really consistent. Even when I was in the middle of a deal, going through closing, I thought it was a done deal. The cards were saying, something's about to blow up. And sure enough, you know, the guy that was buying my house was trying to get out of the deal. And so actually the cards really gave me a heads up and allowed me to kind of prepare a little bit more in a way that I probably would not have been able to do on my own. So I was super grateful for that. And I started to have respect for the cards. And then what I started to do was just learn each individual card and the energy and allow my intuition to kind of surface. And I listened to different tarot card readers online. Janine Morageau, oh my God, I absolutely love and admire her so much. She's been an incredible teacher for me. A protege of hers, Ashala, I've been listening to her a little bit. I had some personal readings with her. Folks like Jenny Moonstone. And you know what's really interesting is these were people that were kind of combining tarot and political events and current events and trying to make sense of all the things, because intuitively we were all getting a sense that whatever we're hearing in the media was not the truth. Like, I mean, I'm sure you can relate to this too, right? Like, it just felt like a big lie, and certainly was out of integrity in terms of what they were saying. There was cover up everywhere. You know, you couldn't really connect the dots. And so as a Scorpio, wanting to do my own research, and I had just so many questions, and my life was just in turmoil anyways. I was just leveraging tarot to try and give me a sense of what was going on. And you know, a little thing about me too is I'm just super passionate about energy healing. And so as I'm finding blocks and obstacles in my own life, I'm also going through my own journey of being able to identify things that don't work in my life and work with a healer to try and remove those blocks and obstacles. And oh my God, I mean, the different people that I've worked with over the years, they have just absolutely saved my life and allowed me to break free from different constraints that were holding me back. Healing generational trauma, healing past life trauma, healing your inner child, all that stuff is so critical to having health and success and just abundance. Because, you know, I was doing a journal one day and I wrote down that abundance is not about the money in your bank account. Abundance is about the energy that you hold and the joy from within. Abundance is an inside job. So, you know, just trying to get real and get aligned with myself in that way. I know I'm kind of all over the board, but this is my first time doing a walkabout, and so I'm just trying to give you just sort of a sense of everything that I've been going through. Anyways, I did sell the house. The deal did go through, even though I was tipped off to him trying to get out of it, and we had to kind of concede on some money, which I was not thrilled about, but at least it got me out of the house and free financially. And we moved to Texas to almost like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. But when I say we, I mean my son and I. He's just the most amazing gift from God, and he's the coolest kid ever. But he can also be a pain in the butt, like all kids. But he's a great teacher for me too. I mean, when I look at things energetically and he's reflecting things back to me, I often see things that I need to shift and heal within my own life. And it took me a bit of time and maturity to be able to look at another human being in my life and say, when they're doing things that bother me, it's not their fault. They're just reflecting something back within me that I have to shift and heal as a vibration within myself. So that alone has been a great gift. But getting to Texas, was still looking for work. And, you know, I'm a professional. I do really great things. I've launched several wireless companies in my career, and I've had a successful exit, worked for a Silicon Valley startup, venture-backed, all that kind of stuff. Good credentials, tough job market, felt like I needed to be in a big city, and did some consulting work. So I had some money coming in, but a lot of extra time on my hands. And so I just continued to study tarot. I continued to study intuition. I continued to do my work on energy healing. And I continued to invest in myself, probably for the first time. And it took me, you know, 5 decades to be able to finally get to the point where I was ready to just say, okay, world, you know, you've given me this gift of being at home. I'm now ready to start doing something with it. And just dove in head first in spiritual practice. And I'm so grateful for this time that I've been given. Since then, I have gotten a new corporate job, a VP in my industry, and doing really well, actually doing very well, given the fact that I'm now able to benefit from all the energy work that I've been doing. But knowing that it's not my true greatest work. Let's see, last month, January, I met with an astrologer, Asha Rose. I heard her on another YouTube channel. I thought she was phenomenal in terms of the simplicity and how she spoke about astrology. And she was telling me that my path is really meant to be more of a spiritual one. And the energy healer that I'm working with, Z from Z Collective, oh my gosh, you need to find her. She's an absolute angel and gift to this world in terms of the type of healing she's able to do. And she really opened things up for me in a way that nobody else could. And she was telling me as well that my best work is meant to have a spiritual practice. And all of those things are wonderful. Ironically enough, it brought me to a memory I had back in 2012. So many years ago, right? Like even before my son was born, where I was meeting with someone who, she was the author of a book, I Can See Your Soulmate. And this whole spiritual journey, honestly, has been me chasing relationships this whole time, not realizing that other things were going to come out of it that were even better. Still waiting for that wonderful relationship, but I know he's on his way. And I'm actually not worried about it right now. But anyways, back in 2012, she told me then I'm supposed to be on this spiritual path. And I was so pissed. Like all I wanted her to do was tell me that I was going to be a great, awesome consultant at AT&T and that I was going to continue to do awesome work in the wireless industry. And the fact that she was telling me your best work is spiritual. Oh my God. I'm like, that is not what I signed up for. So it's been this struggle over the past many years of trying to identify who the hell am I supposed to be? Who am I going to be when I grow up? I don't know. But, you know, having this time, this kind of timeout period where, you know, God sort of, or universe, whatever you want to call it, just put me into a place where I had nothing but time on my hands. I was provided for financially. My son and I are safe. And I just was able to devote time to my spiritual practice. And lo and behold, tarot cards started to show up as this trend that I was really making some accurate predictions. I was really able to interpret incredible energies. Like it was going so deep, like it was coming up with like mysteries around the pyramids and the Sphinx. And I should probably do a video on that at a later time because it was super powerful and has absolutely influenced and shaped my perspective of how I view the world. And I want to be able to share that with other people. And if this is truly my spiritual gift, then I want to be able to share it with everyone I can. You know, I love having conversations with a dear friend of mine, Liz. She'll call me on her way into her corporate job in the morning, and she's just starting her ascension process and her spiritual awakening. And it's so beautiful to watch it because it was basically me just a couple years earlier. And watching her kind of come to these realizations of things are not right in our world and things are not right in her world, and she knows that things can be better. And I've just been kind of advising her on some of the principles of energy that I've been learning and giving her tips and tricks of things that I've been doing myself. And she gave me the most beautiful gift of a voicemail saying how profoundly impactful it's been on her life. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so much better than putting together a project plan for a project and a, you know, that's the real stuff. I still love my corporate job. I'm still doing my corporate job, but I'm kind of doing this tarot thing on the side. I'm trying to gain my confidence, build my intuition on camera. I do get a little nervous, but there's so much more within me that I want to be able to share with all of you. So I thought I would do this video. It's probably just me rambling at this moment, but hopefully I'll get a little bit better. And with practice, maybe I can be impactful for you too. So anyways, I just wanted to say hello, and I hope to see you again soon. This is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.